Employee protection is of vital importance within a company. An overpressure filtration system is an essential aspect of working with contaminated air. The expression "prevention is better than cure" is thus very applicable here, illustrated with something tangible like a helmet, as opposed to something intangible like clean air. Transelectro guarantees quality combined with the tried and test, so that you can offer your employees maximum protection. It's estimated that every year in the Netherlands, some 3,000 people die as a consequence of their work. The main cause of death is cancer, resulting from working with chemical substances. 1,350 people die from this cause. This was revealed by a pilot study performed by Netherlands Center for Occupational Diseases at the request of the FNV, the Federated Netherlands Labour Movement. Additionally, every year approximately 200 miscarriages result from the parents having worked with hazardous chemical substances. At 100, the number of direct deaths and account of occupational accidents is relatively low in comparison to the total number of deaths over time. These figures have, of course, been calculated for a country such as the Netherlands, which has 17 million inhabitants. You can assume that these figures are commensurate with the number of inhabitants per country. In the Netherlands, safety measures are already at a certain level, but still, most of these deaths could have been prevented. Clean air is essential for humans, especially those who work in heavily contaminated environments. An overpressure filtration system offers the ideal solution for cabin operators, as it delivers clean breathing air and monitors the quality of the air supplied. Basically, this system is a personal protection device. The system also offers remote wireless monitoring and data registration of the values measured. Demolition creates a great amount of dust. This dust may be made up of harmless, harmful or toxic particles. Harmless dust often occurs in large quantities and is regarded in particular as a nuisance. It can cause irritation of the airways and eyes. It can also be deposited on the air conditioning and electronic equipment, resulting in expensive repairs. Harmful and toxic dust, such as asbestos or silica, which is present in regular dust, is not usually present in large quantities. The consequences of exposure to these two variations are serious, however, are usually only noticeable in later life.
Het zijn niet risico's dat u gelijk ziek wordt, maar dat is pas na jaren en jaren blootstelling.
For example, persons exposed to these may develop severe lung diseases such as lung cancer. The BMAir overpressure filtration system uses various particle filters to prevent such dust from entering cabins.
Op het moment dat jij tijdig signaleert dat er blootstelling is, dus weet en op dat moment zorgt dat je maatregelen neemt, dan hoeft het maar een tijdelijk effect te zijn.
In waste processing and in particular at landfill sites, large quantities of bacteria, fungi and viruses are present, which enter the air during sorting, transporting and compacting.
Dat een hele scala aan stoffen kan zijn.
The rotting processes that take place in such environments produce these expected stench and gases.
Er zijn heel veel voorbeelden waar mensen toch blootstelling krijgen terwijl ze niet goed beschermd zijn.
Exposure to these substances lead to both short-term and long-term health issues, with sickness absence and sometimes even incapacity for work.
Net hoe u zelf bewust bent van de risico's en ook uw eigen gezondheid, hoe belangrijk u dat vindt.
The use of a BMAir filter system guarantees a stench-free, healthy workplace. Specially developed filters prevent hazardous substances from entering the cabin.
Vandaar ook dat het van groot belang is dat de installatie goed werkt en ook op een juiste manier wordt onderhouden.
And ensure the supply of only clean breathing air.
Een van de belangrijkste taken bij de begeleiding van bodemsaneringen is het ervoor zorgen dat de uitvoerende medewerkers zo min mogelijk worden blootgesteld aan de toxische stoffen.
Whenever it concerns the remediation of old factories, tar pits or landfill sites, every soil remediation project is unique. A cocktail of substances is often found in the contaminated soil, and even more substances are found during remediation. The actual composition is usually difficult to ascertain, making the risk even greater.
Maar er zijn ook stoffen die dat niet, uw neus niet waarschuwen. Waardoor je dus eigenlijk een te hoge concentratie binnenkrijgt zonder dat u iets ruikt.
En het is juist de machinist die wordt blootgesteld, want door de graafbewegingen van de machine komen op dat moment juist de toxische stoffen vrij.
Substances that are normally encountered include solvents such as petrol and toluene, in addition to gases such as ammonia, hydrogen sulfide and hydrogen cyanide. Heavy metals such as cadmium and mercury are frequently encountered.
U kunt niet 100% op uw neus vertrouwen.
Exposure to a cocktail of different chemicals, often in low dosages, often manifests itself in the short term as health problems such as headaches, concentration problems, and chronic fatigue. The treacherous aspect of such exposure is that damage to organs such as kidneys, skin, lungs, and brain cells occurs gradually and only comes to light years later. The BMAir systems are fitted with filters that can be supplied in accordance with the APAC standard.
Ook is het van belang dat de machinist op de hoogte is van welke type filters er voor die bewuste situatie noodzakelijk zijn.
Substances such as ammonia and bacteria are released in the hulls of composting companies and unable to escape. Ammonia concentrations of between 50 and 200 ppm often occur, despite the fact that 20 ppm is the absolute limit for safety working conditions. Therefore, employees who are exposed to such conditions on a daily basis must be adequately protected. A lack of protection will have serious consequences for the nervous system and lungs. BMAir systems ensure optimal filtration up to far below the accepted limit, so that only clean breathing air reaches the cabin. The contaminated ambient air is sucked through the filter system's inlet. The contaminated air is first directed through a dust filter, which removes the solid harmless particles. The air then passes through the P3 filter. The very fine structure of this filter removes even the smallest solid particles, such as asbestos, fungi, bacteria, and so on. The active carbon filter follows this step, where gases and vapors are filtered. The air must remain here for a certain amount of time in order that the gas and vapor molecules bind effectively. The contaminated ambient air has now been cleaned to such an extent that it is safe to offer as breathing air. It is advisable to replace active carbon filters in good time. An active carbon filter will not longer absorb gases or vapors when it's full, while a dust filter will become blocked and block the passage. The system is fitted with a customized ventilator that ensures the air is drawn through the filters at the right speed. The system is fitted with a customized ventilator that ensures the air to draw through the filters at the right speed so that filtration occurs and then is blown via the air hose and the connection flange into the cabin at an airspeed of between 40 and 120 cubic meters an hour. If possible, the system is connected to the cabin's original extended air supply so that the filtered air can be heated or cooled. The control system in the cabin carefully monitors the quality of the breathing air supplied. The usage life of the filters is also registered. The system regulates and monitors the overpressure in the cabin. Mild overpressure in relation to the ambient air ensures that no contaminated air can enter the cabin via the cabin's joints and seams. The surplus air flows out via these same joints and seams. The cabin can be fitted with a green lamp, which remains illuminated as long as the quality of the breathing air supplied and overpressure are in order. It is also possible to make use of wireless monitoring systems, allowing you to monitor and log these parameters remotely via the internet and thus guarantee an even higher level of safety for the user.